Sydney Sweeney's movie flopped tremendously. Tremendously. This is her third movie that she starred in this year that flopped. I think it's safe to say that, for one, she's not a leading actress. She does not thrive where she is the lead. She's good in Euphoria because she's not the lead. And also, she pandered to the wrong audience. So obviously she got a lot of hate on her ad with, I believe it was Abercrombie and Fitch, where they played into genetics and her being, genetically the favorite because she has blonde hair and blue eyes. And, they tried to do a play on jeans and actual denim jeans, and it just did not go over well. It just was not it. And then recently she did an interview where she was asked about white supremacy and, basically asked to denounce it. And she basically said, she dodged the question. She didn't want to answer. And she said, long story short, if I want to talk about it, I'll talk about it, and I don't care. So it's safe to say that, she does feel superior because she's white, and maybe there's a little racism there. That's not what the video is about. I think, based on her actions, some of the interviews that she's done, she panders to white men, okay? She panders to incels, conservative men who don't respect women. So the only thing that she would be successful at, with that being her target audience, is OnlyFans. But they're not going to support any of your projects that you do because they don't support women, right? And I know people are going to say, well, she got paid regardless. Yeah, she did. But in the future, she might have trouble booking different roles because history has now showing, her track record is showing that her movies don't do well. And maybe the movie could have done well with a different lead. I don't know, but I didn't watch the movie. There wasn't a lot of marketing for it. It didn't look like a movie I was going to watch anyway, but I didn't even know about the other two, but just.
Shout out to Sydney Sweeney, right? Because she got something that a lot of these mainstream people, a lot of these celebrities, they just don't have it. Cojones, principles, and a damn backbone. She actually stands on business. When the woke mob comes for her and they try to, because I know y'all seen that interview. I know y'all seen that little excerpt from that interview. That shit's going viral. Great job. This is how you deal with the woke mob. This is exactly how you deal with people who just try to cancel you for doing a simple ad promoting some jeans. The woke mob tried to catch her out in that interview asking her that question, right? And she didn't apologize, as she should not have. Because we all know what happens when you apologize to the woke mob. A lot of celebrities can learn from this. A lot of people who are very famous on the internet can really learn from this. When the woke mob comes after you, you don't bend. You don't fold. You don't try to pull some PR stunt or give a politically correct answer. You stand on what you said before. Because, let's be honest, your integrity is going to be questioned once you trickle back and you try to go back on what you said. Y'all want a perfect example? Look at Joey Swole. When Hulk Hogan died, he posted a tribute to Hulk Hogan saying that he was one of his greatest heroes and, he respected Hulk Hogan. The whole woke mob came after him, right? Oh, he was a racist. He told his daughter he doesn't want her dating a nigga. Look what they did to that man when he apologized, right? Worst thing he could have ever done. And Joey Swole, he looks like a great person. Like, you know what I'm saying? A guy with he's just trying to help people out. You know what I'm saying? I don't really watch his content like that, but just off of, the way how he apologized, I could tell that he was sincere. But you can't apologize to the woke mob. Like, they're going to use it against you. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. He bent the knee, thoughting that they were going to forgive him. Nah, they just attacked him even harder. This is exactly how the woke mob works. They don't want apologies. They want control. They want you to be embarrassed, obedient, and humiliated. So, not just celebrities. Anybody could take an example out of, this Sydney Sweeney interview. When you have a point and you firmly believe that, because listen, this is America. This is we can have our own opinions, right? You're free to think whatever the hell you want as long as you're not inciting violence, right? A lot of people can learn from that. If you have a stance and you stand by something, just because somebody's questioning your ideology doesn't mean that you have to bend the knee and apologize, or somebody's offended by something that you say, you don't necessarily have to bend the knee and fold to them. You cannot apologize it's never worth apologizing to people who were never going to forgive you in the first place.
Zendaya just said, "I'm not standing next to racism," and Hollywood is shook. Listen, when you're black in Hollywood, you don't get the luxury of silence. You can just say stay neutral, and when your Costa is out here defending racist dog whistles and refusing to apologize. Zendaya is pulling a move we don't see enough. She's protecting her name, her legacy, her ancestors by saying no. I will not promote Euphoria season 3 with someone who won't denounce bigotry. And the industry is scrambling because they thought black excellence would just smile and play nice for the cameras. But here's what they're missing. This is not about being difficult. This is about understanding that your silence is your endorsement. And Zendaya just taught us all $1 billion lesson. Hit the button if you understand why standing on business means standing alone sometimes. Guys, have these clips, people react to this story, let us watch, and then I'll be back to discuss every single bit with you guys.
Ooh, y'all, the streets are saying that Zendaya is refusing to do red carpets with Sydney Sweeney because of her stance and the outrage from the Great Jeans commercial. So in case you didn't know, they've been filming for season 3 of Euphoria, which we've been dying for. Like, what took y'all so long? Anyway, it seems like the filming has wrapped up and they're supposed to be doing red carpet appearances. Now, for some context, Sydney Sweeney recently did an interview with a journalist, and when she was asked about how she felt that the president spoke out on her behalf, this was her response.
Like a very crazy moment for anyone, and I wondered what that was like.
It was surreal.
It was surreal.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be totally human. I would probably feel like thankful that somebody had my back in public, you know, and conveniently, some very powerful people had my back in public.
Apparently, that didn't sit right with Zendaya, as it shouldn't, and she's saying that she cannot be seen out with her promoting Euphoria. And I don't blame her, because what are we talking about? But I guess we're going to see in upcoming interviews and on the red carpet if Zendaya stands 10 toes down on that, which she honestly could, because Zendaya is the program. She's not just bigger than the program, she's the program.
So Sydney Sweeney's movie Christy ended up flopping, and that's not really surprising to me because she built up a fan base of right-wing incel losers, and I don't know why she thought that picking up a movie about a lesbian boxer that is going through domestic violence with a man would work out and be successful with her fan base. Because like if you're if you're going after the male gaze and you're not in like OF or any kind of like adult content, you're setting yourself up for failure, especially if you're like a movie actress. Because that just makes no sense to me, bro. Anything that is adjacent to being woke is not going to appease your fan base. And it's really unfortunate for her career because she was on an upward trajectory, bro. But she's had like, what, 3 flops back to back to back? And also, I don't know if Madam Web was a flop, but that's actually one of the worst movies ever made. However, it's hilarious, but not on purpose. God, Madam Web is actual delicious garbage, like just some good filth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro. I'm just not really surprised with this shit, bro, because it's like, 1, her fans are not going to support a project like this, and 2, I really didn't see that much promotion for it. Like, I just recently went to a movie like a few weeks ago, and I saw that trailer, and it really didn't look interesting. And then when I seen it with Sydney Sweeney in it, I was like, I don't know about this, bro. So, yeah, man, she just cannot stop taking L's.
Zendaya says she ain't gonna be on no set with Sydney Sweeney. I know that's right. Because when I watched that American Eagle interview, it was weird. Like, it was racist. Like, Then her family is open Trump supporters. It just give racist. Like, I don't know. She throwing me off. I just think they need to get her off the show. Because y'all have to remember, it's a lot of different groups that watch Euphoria. It's not just one race. Black people watch it. It's not just white people that watch it. And it makes Euphoria look bad. It makes people not want to watch the show because they have a racist acting on the show. Hello? And honestly, like, I wouldn't mind if they took her off the show. I mean, I don't feel like Cassie really needs to be in Euphoria no more. Like, her character is not a good character. Like, she literally effed her best friend's boyfriend. Hello? Like, that's not a good character. Like, she don't look good in that show no more. So I feel like I wouldn't really care if they kicked her off. I wouldn't. Like, I really want to see Zendaya. Like, I really don't feel like Sydney really doing anything for the show anyways. Like, she's not bringing nothing to the table. People is not watching for her. Like, we all watching for Zendaya. Somebody get her off Euphoria immediately.
Zendaya is a prime example of why people in Hollywood do not like rich black women. Zendaya obviously did not like the American Eagle jeans ad that Sydney Sweeney did, just like everybody else didn't like it. And Zendaya put her foot down and she said, I am not doing a press tour for Euphoria season 3 with a racist. I don't have to. Everybody knows that Zendaya has more money than Sydney Sweeney. And when a rich black woman puts her foot down and she says, I am not doing this, I got too much money to do with this is why they want to keep us down. They want to have control over you and they can't control Zendaya. So I'm happy for Zendaya for putting her foot down and saying that she doesn't want to do the press tour with Sydney Sweeney. And obviously she doesn't have to, because the show's still going to, be good whether they do a press tour together or not. I'm still going to support Euphoria season 3 because I love the show. And, I support Zendaya, but, this is going to be interesting since they're not getting along right now. I don't know how many other people on the show are not getting along, but this is going to be really interesting.
Inside sources are claiming that Sydney Sweeney and Zendaya are currently in a, quote, bitter feud. Here's what's going on. According to Daily Mail, Zendaya is refusing to stand by or do promo with Sydney Sweeney for season 3 of Euphoria. And the reason for their feud seems to be because of their different political views as well as Sydney's recent controversies. By now, I'm sure we're all familiar with the controversy behind Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle ad, so I don't really feel the need to go that into details about it and make this video longer than it needs to be. But I did post a video recently about the ad and Sydney's response to it. I'll have it linked below if you want the full details. But anyways, let's get back to this feud. At this point, I feel like it's no secret that Sydney is also a supporter of the Trump administration, which Zendaya has been openly against throughout the years. In fact, in the 2020 election on her Instagram, Zendaya encouraged her fans to, quote, vote this MF out. So given her different views and the current political climate, it makes sense why Zendaya would try to distance herself from Sydney. With one source saying it's no wonder she's refusing to do it, it's a difficult position for Zendaya to be in because if she even stands next to Sydney on the red carpet, it can read as her excusing Sydney's views on Trump and her refusal to apologize for the racist ad. And clearly the controversies have had an impact on Sydney Sweeney's career. In fact, Sydney has had 3 movies released in theaters recently, and all 3 of them have bombed in the box office. And to me that shows that her name currently isn't holding the weight that it used to a year ago. So I'm really curious to see what her career looks like in the next couple of years, especially after Euphoria ends. I want to know what you guys think about this feud though, so be sure to let me know.
That girl looked like her parents are cousins. And you expected her to get on a podcast and clear her name? She said she has good genes. What was she gonna say? Exactly. And then Zendaya, we trust. Because I didn't even need to say, Zendaya, you need to separate yourself from her. She's already done it. I love Zendaya. She said she's refusing to promote Euphoria with Sydney Sweeney. I'm so freaking happy. I'm so happy. And she got the nerve to say, I'm more aware than people think. Oh, so you part of the KKK too? You did a poster child?
Zendaya is refusing to do press with Sydney Sweeney for the new season of Euphoria. I knew I loved her for a reason. Now, it is alleged, but obviously this would be due to the fact that Sydney had that crazy racist ad going on with American Eagle. And then she hangs out with Trump. Her family are openly red hat wearers. She was at fucking Jeff Bezos' wedding. She has something to do with them and she's deeply connected when you're at Jeff Bezos' wedding. That or you're out here doing favors for old men. And then to top it off, the other day Sydney had an interview where the interviewer literally asked her to clear up or clear her name when it came to the American Eagle ad. And what did Sweeney have to say? She basically said, I am not on your team. I am sitting on the other side. I am fully aware of it and I'm proud of it. She said that she knows what was going on, and if she had anything to address, she would have addressed it. So obviously she had no problem with the discourse that was going on. Anyone who had a problem with that would have clearly said, I know how it came, but that wasn't the intentions, and I apologize for any discomfort or any feelings that I hurt. So if it comes out to be true that Zendaya is refusing to do promo with her, I'm gonna love that, and I'm gonna be so proud of her because not everyone is willing to stand up for the right thing, especially in Hollywood.
And I guess wokeness is back because nobody cared to even watch this film by Sydney Sweeney. Now, the sad thing about this film debuting as one of 9 or one of 12 of the worst box openings this weekend is that Christie's story should have been told. We're just going to start from the top. So, according to Discussing Films, this movie by the name of Christy, who was being portrayed by Sydney Sweeney, had opened in 2,000 theaters and had only marked about $1.05 million in sales, which again put it at the time it was released as the 9th worst box opening film in US history to now the 12th. Now, this biopic is the portrayal of Christy Martin. She is inducted in the Boxing Hall of Fame, and she was having a lot of struggles on and off the ring. According to People magazine, Christy, who was in a same sex relationship in high school, then ended up marrying her husband, Jim, wanted to divorce him. And because she had told him, hey, I wanted to rekindle my relationship with my previous partner, he stabbed her. He did. He literally stabbed her. And he shot her. He stabbed her and shot her. Now, this happened back in 2010. And by 2012, after all of that ended up being settled out, she ended up retiring from boxing and then ended up being inducted in the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. She ended up being the first woman to be elected to the International Boxing Hall of Fame. So she ended up having this like incredible career, an incredible life. And the sad part about it is that most people don't even know about it because of Sydney Sweeney portraying her in this biopic. But when you do ads about jeans and then double down on it when people told you that it was a lot of racist dog whistles, anything that Sydney Sweeney is going to touch is going to fail. And that's sad because Christy Martin's story should have been told because it discusses women in athletic sports, domestic violence, and just so much more. And I feel really bad for the person who was being depicted in this film because I feel like her story is not told, and it sucks because look at the person telling it.
There's such a deep web when it comes to Sydney Sweeney, the Ellis family, and Mr. Orangeman over here. I'm gonna save it for Substack. We're gonna talk about this girl right here because her new movie flopped at the box office this opening weekend. It opened to $1.3 million, making it one of the most worst opening weekends of all time for a film that was released in over 2,000 theaters. Now, if you want to look at the weekend box office, this is what it looked like. Predator Badlands was always going to open on #1. It's a franchise movie. The rest of the films in the top 10 are all having their second or more weekend at the box office. The reason why people are talking about this specifically is because the week of the film's release, Sydney Sweeney did a sit down with GQ for their Man of the Year cover, and she was asked about the American Eagle ad, and she gave the most white girl answer. Now, I don't think she expected for MAGA to not come out and support the film. I think with the current state of the country, she just thought that people were just going to go just because. Now, before I started filming this video, she came out and spoke about the box office disappointment, saying that this story is important and it helped so many people in bringing awareness to Christy's story. I don't think she realizes that her public image and bad PR overshadowed the entire film itself. Not all press is good press, and bad press is going to mess up your opening weekend as well as your overall box office and chances at award buzz. Now, her next movie is The Housemaid. It comes out December 19th, so right before Christmas. It is a book adaptation. It was a popular series. And baby, I don't know if Amanda Seyfried can carry the torch or the press tour, because with this damn campaign, you out with Scooter Braun, and just the overall oversaturation of her and so many projects, this was
whoever recasted Sydney Sweeney is just as problematic as her, because it's like if you already know that she has problems with the main actor Zendaya, and if you know that she now has problems with Alexi Demi, I don't know how to say her name, why would you why would you recast her as if her acting isn't something that could be replaced? It's not amazing. It's not subpar, but it's not amazing. So why didn't you just replace her? You took forever to give it to us anyway. We could have waited a little bit longer if that means recasting her, not recasting her.
Let's talk about Sydney Sweeney. We all can agree that Sydney Sweeney was the biggest target for cancel culture this year. And it all started off with her American Eagle campaign. And for the first time last week in an interview, she addressed all the controversy. And her response is kind of suspicious.
Were you surprised by the reaction? I did a jean ad. The reaction definitely was a surprise, but I love jeans.
Her jean ad was so huge that Donald Trump tweeted about it, which led to her political views being public. And Zendaya is not happy about it. The Daily Mail reports that Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney are in a bitter feud over differences in their political beliefs. Zendaya is reportedly refusing joint interviews and red carpet photos with Sydney Sweeney while promoting Euphoria. But that's not all, because Sydney Sweeney has earned 4 flop movies, with 3 of them being box office releases, the most for any actor in 2025. And the movies they're referring to is Echo Valley, Eden, Americana, and Christy. The actress Ruby Rose calls Sydney Sweeney a cretin as her movie Christy tanks at box office. Let's be honest, the only thing that's gonna uplift Sydney Sweeney's career is Euphoria. And guys, that's not all. Sydney Sweeney and Scooter Braun has made their relationship public. They were spotted kissing on a rock in Central Park. And they knew what they were doing because they saw the camera and they started making out. Sydney is unbothered. What do you guys think about?
Yo, what's good, family? It's your boy Tariq, and today we're talking about something that's got Hollywood in complete chaos right now. You have Zendaya, yes, the Zendaya has reportedly refused to do any promotional work with Euphoria co-star Sydney Sweeney for season 3. No joint interviews, no red carpet photos, no press tours, nothing. And before you come at me with, oh, it's just celebrity drama, pump your brakes, because this goes deeper than you think. This is about what happens when black excellence refuses to consign racism for a paycheck. This is about the price of standing on principle in an industry that wants you to smile, stay quiet, and keep it professional, even when your co-star is out here defending white supremacist talking points. Let me set the scene for you so that you can understand. Sydney Sweeney, blonde, blue-eyed, Hollywood's current it girl, did an American Eagle jeans campaign that had so many racist dog whistles. Donald Trump himself tweeted about it. The ad played on her great jeans. Blonde hair, blue eyes, the whole eugenic adjacent aesthetic. When critics call it out, Sydney could have said, hey, I didn't intend that, let me clarify. But no, she doubled down. In a GQ interview, she asked about the controversy. When she was asked about that, Sydney allegedly said she was fully aware of it and proud of it, and told the interviewer she's not on your team. Sis basically said, I know what I did, I meant it, and I'm not apologizing to you all. On top of that, her family are open Trump supporters. MAGA hats all over. Now, here's where it gets great. Zendaya has been openly anti-Trump. She told people to vote this guy out in 2020. She's been vocal about racial justice. So when season 3 promo time comes around and the network wants them on red carpet together, Zendaya said, absolutely not. And I need you all to understand why this matters beyond the celebrity gossip, right? Number one, your silence is your endorsement. If Zendaya stands next to Sydney on that red carpet, smiling for the cameras, the message is clear. Racism is negotiable if the money is right. Every brand that works with Zendaya, Disney, Lancome, Valentino, they are watching. Every little black girl who looks up to her is watching. Zendaya understands that her image is her currency. Standing next to someone who refuses to renounce racism contaminates that image. It tells the world, I'm willing to compromise my values for Hollywood. Number two, this exposes the double standard black actors face. White actors can have political opinions, controversial takes, and problematic histories, and Hollywood just works around it. But black actors, they're told to stay neutral, don't alienate audiences, keep politics out of it. Zendaya is saying, no, I'm not playing that game. And the industry is big mad because they can't control her. Number three, Sydney's career is tanking, and it proves that the audience she was pandering to, these right-wing MAGA anti-woke folks, they don't support her movies. Her biopic Christy about a lesbian boxer flopped, opened at $1.05 million in about 2,000 years of the world openings in US history. Why? Because the people she goes quoting don't actually respect her. They don't see her as an artist. They see her as a political prop. And the general audience, they are turned off by her refusing to apologize for racism. Now, as a black man, right? As a black man making this content, I know how it feels when someone starts being racist and they're not even apologetic about it, right? Okay, let me tell you something. I was not defending eugenist coded advancement. I wasn't aligning myself with political movements that actually harm black people. Sydney made a choice to die on that hill, and that hill is turning into a grave. In the African diaspora, we have a saying, every skin tooth na laugh. Just because someone's smiling at you doesn't mean they're your friend. Sydney played nice with the black cast of Euphoria for years, but when it came to time to stand against racism, she showed her true colors. And Zendaya, who has been in this industry since she was a child, she knows the game. She knows that if you don't protect your name, nobody else will. I've seen this in the African and Caribbean communities. If you work with people, collaborate, even break bread with them, but the moment they disrespect your humanity, it is over. No second chances. No, let's keep it professional. Because professionalism without dignity is just slavery with better lighting. And here's what gets me emotional about this whole situation. Zendaya is risking money. She's risking the Euphoria bug. She's risking being labeled difficult in Hollywood, a label that has ended black women's careers. But she's doing it anyway because she understands something that too many of us forget. You can't build generational wealth on the foundation of self-hatred. You can't secure the bag by compromising your soul. Every time we stay silent in the face of racism because it's just business, we are teaching the next generation that their dignity has a price tag. Sydney Sweeney is learning a hard lesson right now. You can't build a career pandering to racists. They'll use you, but they won't pay you. They'll defend you online, but they won't buy your movie tickets. And when you're done being useful to them, they'll discard you. Meanwhile, Zendaya, on the other side, is building something eternal. She's building a legacy. She's showing young black girls that you don't have to compromise, that standing alone is better than standing in bad company. So, what's the lesson that we get here, family? Number one, you need to protect your name like it's your own asset because it is. Zendaya understands that her brand is built on integrity. One photo up with Sydney and that brand is compromised. Number two, the audience is watching. It is always watching. The people think we're stupid. They think we don't see the dog whistles, the coded language, the strategic silence. But we do. And remember, Sydney's box office numbers prove it. Number three, standing on principle costs something. Zendaya is sacrificing easy money and convenience, but she's gaining something more valuable: respect from her community, from her ancestors, from herself. The entertainment industry wants us to believe that success means compromising, that making it means playing nice with people who don't respect our humanity. Zendaya is rewriting that narrative. She's saying, I'd rather be respected than liked. I'd rather be alone than complicit. And honestly, that's the energy we all need to carry into 2025 and beyond. Look, I know some of you all are going to say, Rick, it's not that deep, it's just Hollywood drama. But it is that deep because every time a black person in a position of power stands up against racism, they're opening doors for the rest of us. Every time someone says, I want to compromise my values for the industry, they are showing us that another way is possible. Zendaya just played chess while everyone else was playing checkers. And Sydney Sweeney, she played herself. Drop a comment down below and let me know. Do you think Zendaya made the right call? Or should she have kept it professional? I want to hear from you. Tell me what you think. And if this video blessed you, hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that every time I post new videos, you'll be the first person to get them. We are building something real over here, a community that doesn't compromise on the truth. Guys, I'm Sharik and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.